Hey, Amazing Atheist and his following, who are going to watch this video more than likely. If I had to choose between my life right now um, or being president of the United States but dying 1 year before I leave office, I would choose being the president for as many years as I could before I leave office, because I think I could change this country for the better and make it less of a theocracy than it is now, and make it and regain some of our image that we had earlier in our history. Would I rather be the greatest of all time, but so beyond people's comprehension that you'd never be appreciated until long after your death, or a person who is perceived as a genius in his own time but is later thought as a mediocre hack who is overrated? I'd I would choose to be the greatest genius of all time, just I would have to endure some ridicule for in my own time as someone that I would never be appreciated in my lifetime, but I would be appreciated for things that I did in my lifetime later on. Just because being known as a genius now and then being looked down upon as a mediocre person is not even an option, because I'd rather do good things or inspire someone to do good things in my death as being greatest genius of all time, because then they may become greatest. They would become something that I could never be in my life, and they could change the world for the better. um, would I rather have an ugly sexual partner who is immensely satisfying in bed but embarrassing in that people know you're fucking someone so ugly, or a beautiful loser sucked in bed but made others deeply envious of you? I would choose the ugly sexual partner because, well, looks don't really matter to me. You could be good looking and be a complete asshole. So yeah, I choose the latter, the first choice. Would I rather be the lead singer of an extremely mediocre but popular band, or the world's greatest poet with a small fan following? I'd be the world's greatest poet with a small fan following, because my poetry would reach a small percentage of the population, but my words would have some kind of impact on them. And I think that is better than being a mediocre band that has a large following, because your music's not going to have the impact of a poet's words, because poets are remembered for years after their death, for hundreds of years after their death. But mediocre bands are usually forgotten in a wisp of smoke. If I had a chance to open one of two doors, and one door led to the fulfillment of all your dreams and of my dreams, and the other had an ex-murderer who would chop me into pieces as soon as I opened it, would I choose to open the door? Yes, I would, because, well, I'd rather take the chance of having all my dreams fulfilled than living a mediocre existence. And if I did get killed, hey. If by killing myself, all my other enemies would be destroyed as well, would I kill myself? If my enemies were harming other people, then yes, I would kill myself, so that way other people wouldn't endure the same kind of things that I endured from them, and maybe it would make the world a better place. If I had to take a car trip with a Vietnam vet with serious mental health problems, and who had a gun, honest person all the time, or conservative Christian who passed judgment on everything you did, who would you choose? I would choose to go the Vietnam vet with mental health issues with a gun, because I think I could help that person come to terms with whatever they'd have to deal with in a car trip. I couldn't stand taking a trip with a Christian who judged everything I did, because I'd end up pushing them out of the car anyway. But I think I could, in a car trip, but not in a car trip, but in later experiences, once I met the Vietnam vet, I would be able to help them in the long run and help them deal with things that they saw and that they can't really process now. Would I gain immortality by stopping a little girl's pet kitten to death before her crying eyes every Christmas, would I do it? No, I wouldn't do it, because pets are an important part, and I would never do that. Something so cruel to someone so young. Because I don't think children like that need to see horrifying images like that. In the long run, immortality isn't all it's cracked up to be. If I love someone with all my heart and they hated everything about me, would I shorten their lives 10 years if it meant that they would love you in return? No, because of if them hating me, more than likely them hating me is what made me love them, so I wouldn't want to compromise their integrity just to get some kind of gratification I could out of shortening someone else's lifespan just because I love them and they hate me. I would not do that. If I went to hell and it was just as bad as every other Christian say, and the devil gave me a deal, if I could tempt 1 year, he would give me 1 year reprieve from that agony. If I could tempt people to damnation, I wouldn't take the deal, because if I'm in hell, I did something to deserve it. I don't think I should really get a reprieve for something. Or I wouldn't want to tempt people to damnation just to get a reprieve for something. To damn people to a hellfire existence that I obtained through something I did in my life, that doesn't seem right. I would rather sacrifice myself and let myself be the one who's damned instead of turning good people towards damnation or to evil and then having them damned. I would never do that. So I answered the 10 questions. That's all I really got to do, and that's all I really did. So I'm Resonator Zen, and those are my 10 answers. Peace out.